Welcome students to LEAD BA 470 online. So before we get started into the basics of what we're going to cover in this class, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Nicole. Please call me Nicole. I don't go by Dr. Cundiff very often. And I am the director of the Northern Leadership Center at the School of Management at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I have been in this position for over 4 years now, and I actually took the director position straight out of my PhD program in applied psychology at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. I went to school there for 13 years and got 4 degrees, 3 of which are in psychology, and 1 was my master's in business administration. And during the time that I was going to school, I worked in a consulting firm for 3 years. So I do a lot of evaluation assessments, and I like to design surveys, for instance. So I'm a little on the geeky side. A few other things about me. I have 2 children, 2 dogs. I like to travel internationally, and I also like to go outdoors and play a lot. So hopefully you'll be able to tell me a little bit about yourself as you get into this class, and that we'll be able to have some time to get to know each other. I really do enjoy working one-on-one with students and learning about who you are and what drives you and motivates you to succeed, and how I can help with you in that process. So if you ever want to just stop by my office or Skype me or send me a picture of you doing something really cool, keep it appropriate, please. I would greatly appreciate it because I really do want to get to know you. Some people ask me why I got involved with leadership, and you know, my relationship with leadership goes back to the beginnings of my doctoral program, where I started to do research in that area, and it has morphed and evolved dramatically since I first started. I still stick to my origins when it comes to research, and I look at a lot of different variables in terms of diversity and how that affects perceptions of leaders, specifically in organizations. But I also enjoy working with a variety of groups through the center in leadership development. So to give you an idea, I have a vast variety of students that I work with, from about 100 high schoolers every summer to executives throughout the school year. I teach mainly upper division level courses and graduate courses, and I also work with the community to help train our community members and our, you know, organizational leaders to do the best that they can. So let's see how I can kind of help you remotely in this class to develop your own personal leadership style. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the syllabus in this video, and I want to tell you a little bit about how to get a hold of me. Obviously, the information is going to be available on Blackboard and on our website and on our syllabus, but just to emphasize, I do want you to realize that my office hours are going to be a little bit flexible, so mainly I would like you to set appointments with me if you are needing to come in and chat with me. I am generally in my office from like 10 a.m. until at least 3 or 4 p.m. every day. So you obviously can stop by at any time, and if I'm not in a meeting, I would be more than happy to talk to you. But other than that, it's best to always just, if you really need to talk to me, to set a meeting. My office is in Bunnell in 109, and it is right next to the big computer lab, if you know where that is. So let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about what I would like in terms of performance for this class. So how we're framing this class is one part personal leadership development and one part understanding the theoretical underpinnings of leadership development. So our assignments in the class are going to be focused mainly on that personal leadership development. So these are the personal assignments. There'll be 5 of them. I have a video talking about each one of them. And it really gets you to think about who you are as a leader. I will have you take assessments and try to figure out what you need in order to, be the best leader that you possibly can be, and how you can get involved in your community and the things that the community offers to help you develop your leadership skills. So that is part of the course. And then the other part is going to deal with the texts that you're required to read. I have 3 textbooks, and then I have an excerpt from a book. I didn't require that particular text because it's extremely expensive, and we're only going to use a couple of chapters out of it. I do expect students to read all of the material in the class. Some of it is pretty hefty reading. There's a lot of statistics in it. And the thing I would recommend, especially when you're getting into some of the heavier data-driven components within this material, is to not try to grasp what all of the statistics are about, and trying to understand kind of the details in that heavy text, but read over it, skim over it, and try to get a summary or a basic idea of where the authors are trying to take you from sharing that information with you. So if you do struggle, again, you can come in and talk to me, but I need you to try to go through it and get a basic understanding of what it is that they're trying to convey. So our quizzes and our final exam, which is going to be cumulative, will be over the material that you are required to read, as well as our group projects. So the team projects throughout the semester, each person will be assigned to one team. There'll be 4 teams, and you're essentially going to be responsible for covering the material for that module of the class, and actually go out and extend what we're learning about and how we can apply it to the real world today. So, for instance, Team 1 will take Module 1. They will read Bernard Bass's book on the full range leadership model, and they will be responsible for putting together a report and a presentation that describes this theory, and then also brings in additional material outside of the required text, and then apply those pieces of information to a real world context. So giving us examples of how it can be utilized, how it's demonstrated, how can we really apply the theory that we are learning about. So every group will be assigned to one of the 4 modules in our class. And then finally, we also have at the end of the course a simulation. And I have a separate video kind of talking about the simulation and the process that you're going to go through. But again, it's taking more of all the theories that we've learned throughout the semester and our basic leadership style and kind of merging them. So we're going to be interacting in a simulation, trying to successfully run this simulation, working with a different group of people, because we'll be assigned into a new group, and seeing how we can apply these theories directly. So a part of this course is going to be involving participation. It's 20% of your grade, actually. And how I'm going to judge participation is going to be through how you engage with the course website and with the postings that we are with the team. Cut that out, please. How I'm going to judge participation is going to be through it's going to be determined by how involved you are in dealing with discussion of team projects and responding to the material that is presented on the website. So, for instance, if Team 1 had submitted their presentation for Module 1 on transformational leadership, I would expect you to watch their presentation and then ask questions, make comments in general about the presentation or what you have learned from this material. And I am expecting, as part of their grade in terms of the presentation, for the team members that were a part of that particular project to respond to the class's questions and comments in a manner to actually create a dialogue. And so you can get up to 10 points per post or reflection that you make in each of these scenarios. And, you know, for instance, if you just respond with some not very thorough or well thought out comments, such as, that was a really cool presentation, I liked it a lot, good job, you might get a couple of points, but you really need to be able to engage in the topic and get other people discussing the topic and relating to what it is that you're saying in order to get the full points from that particular post. So in terms of overall grading for the course, you will have 20% from participation. Another 25% is going to come from your assignments, and those are the 5 individual leadership development assignments. 10% is going to come from the 4 quizzes, one at the end of each module. You will also get 10% of your grade from participating in the simulation and the report that you are writing based on that. 20% of your grade comes from your presentation and report that you're going to be working with your group on. And then finally, 15% of your grade comes from the final exam. I do not give plus or minuses when it comes to grade breakdown. The only thing I do distinguish is for those who have excelled extremely well in my class, I do give them A pluses as opposed to just a general A, so that they can know that they've done well. So on our website, you will find that we have a course schedule, and it's going to tell you what you need to read every week, and if there are additional assignments that are going to be due during that time. So for instance, on week 1, it says to read over the syllabus, which hopefully you're doing right now, and you will be assigned to teams. So you can know, and start preparing with your team about which module you'll be covering. You'll also be sent a link to a survey that is going to assess your leadership style. And so you're expected to participate in that survey during that first week. In the second week, you are going to learn a little bit about transformational leadership by reviewing our MLQ, or the Multi-Factor Leadership Questionnaire survey, and how that applies to you. And I expect you to watch the video that covers how to utilize those scores to understand what your leadership style is like. So that is just kind of a quick example of how we're going to be utilizing the course schedule throughout the semester. So just to kind of give you an idea of what is happening between our various websites, because we are going to be going to a few. Our overall class website is going to be the WordPress site, and that's where you're going to get all of your documents. That's where you're going to have your team projects, presentations posted. That's where you're going to be participating in discussion based on those projects and other assignments that I might give you throughout the semester. That's where you can ask questions from me or to the entire class about the course, and that's where you're also going to get any information when I give updates throughout the semester. So that's the main component of our WordPress site. So we're also going to be using Blackboard. That's where you're going to have access to your quizzes, your final exam, where you're going to obviously get your grades from, and that's where also you're going to be submitting your reports. So all of the reports should be submitted through Blackboard. And there'll be prompts for each of the individual assignments and for the report based on the simulation as well. The other websites that we'll be utilizing are going to be websites that are out of my control. So hopefully we won't have a lot of problems with that. We will be going to, for instance, the Mind Garden website for our multi-factor leadership questionnaire survey and report. And then we're also going to be going to a Harvard site in order to participate in the simulation. So bear with me and with the class as we start to maneuver through these different sites and bring it all together. I am hoping to give you ample warning and ample notification in a variety of ways to make sure that you do have access and you know where to go when we're trying to work on these different sites. So if you are having any problems, don't hesitate to send me an email or give me a call and we'll get it figured out. So what I would like to end with is the idea that I want to see you being creative with your group projects, with your reports, and how you're participating in the class, because that is going to get you a lot farther than taking a lackadaisical approach in my course. So the more engaging you are, the more creative you are, the more entertaining you are, because I believe truly that people learn better when they are entertained than if they are just bored to death. The better you're going to have in terms of scoring on participation and presentation and a variety of other components in the class. So if you look, I have rubrics for just about everything you're going to be scored on. And you'll see where creativity, innovation, and, taking a lead on getting the information out and making sure that other people are going to be impacted by what it is you're doing is really going to help improve your score. So I hope that you take the time, look at the rubrics. I am not going to score outside of the rubrics, so if you're missing anything in, say, a report, for instance, and it's something that I'm supposed to be looking for on the rubric, then I can't give you the points for it. So definitely every time you submit something for the class, go back to what it is, where the points are coming from, and make sure that you have those components. And if you're unsure whether or not you're addressing it, then again, just get a hold of me and we'll talk about what those components involve. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to being in the class with you all, and I hope we have a great semester.